I don't know how many notches I have. Wait. Let me phrase that. I don't know how many notches that like you're allowed, like the max number of notches that you can get in the game.
Let me pause this.
I don't like how we're like half of the screen.
They could see us more, dude. But yeah. Let me just Google. Let me just Google.
Did you push down the monitor?
Notch numbers.
There, that's better. So it won't get in focus.
I mean, you can prevent it from autofocusing.
Yeah, it's already prevented autofocusing.
No way.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Configure the video.
Okay, let me configure the video. Jeez.
Hollow Knight.
I'm gonna get a sweater.
No.
Yeah, go get a sweater, even though we're live right now.
Are we?
Yes.
Fuck.
Get it. Hi everyone. Live cam. Properties. Configure video.
11 charm notches.
11. How many you can hold at once? 11?
Charm notches.
Okay.
So that's kind of like the slots kind of thing.
Yeah.
And there are 45 charms. And each charm's...
No, I'm just saying how many can you equip?
Yeah, autofocus off.
I guess if there are 11 charms with single notches, then you can equip up to 11.
So maximum 11.
Actually, that's sort of a lie because you can over charm yourself. So you can have.
So you
can
drunk
just
on
like
charm.
You're exploiting game mechanics.
Basically, but it also comes at a price because if you over charm yourself, you take double damage.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Seems pretty legit.
So
That's a good trade-off.
Yeah. So you can technically have 12 charms equipped.
We're live.
Okay.
Do your intro, John.
Hello, everybody. I hope everybody's having a great holiday. Welcome back to the Placeholder Podcast. This is Ryflo, Zeji, and Goose, in that order. And
for introductions, I wanted to one time. I want the three of us to just come from below the desk.
oh, we'll do that for your episode. I think.
I don't know. I'm just saying. I was just thinking of creative ways of doing introductions.
Yeah.
I mean, we could raise and lower the camera, because I can raise and lower the camera.
That could be one of our gimmicks of our show.
Yeah.
It's just every single time it needs to be a new introduction, and then you can stitch all the introductions together.
Fair enough. But today we'll be. Actually, before we get to the topic at hand, how's everybody's day? How's everybody's holidays doing? Because I'm obligated to ask these questions during these times.
We're fat.
Yes.
Good.
We gained weight.
I've gained weight.
Edge gained a lot of weight.
That's not a bad thing. That means those are more energy you can burn for more muscle mass.
Sure.
You put it that way, yeah. Yeah.
Sure.
That's absolutely
load
how
up
it
my
works.
joints with extra weight, and therefore they're more
absolutely.
brittle
Absolutely.
and more painful.
Okay.
We have a baby for the whole entire holidays.
It's fun.
It was fun.
I like babies.
I don't know. I still have very mixed feelings about
babies?
Yeah.
I don't like taking care of them.
Me neither.
But playing with them is hilarious. I can barely take care of myself, so I can
Yeah, that's a similar problem.
Taking care of a baby, but playing with babies are.
I have a very similar problem. Also, can you bring up the Unity chat?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
They're like tiny drunk people.
Yeah.
They're really.
Unity chat. There you go, yellow.
She wasn't really cognizant for the first month, but for the second month,
she's
looking
noticing
around
everything.
She's becoming more observant than cognizant. But I'm just saying.
Babies grow deceptively fast.
They get really smart. Well, they get smart. They are smart. They're sponges when it comes to absorbing information.
No, yeah.
Which once again, before we get to the topic at hand, I'd like to bring out that one tweet that Jaden Smith had.
I don't pay attention to it.
I know. But
Irrelevant pop stars.
it's true.
Actually, he probably isn't irrelevant. Many young people idolize him, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Debatable, but yeah.
What do you mean debatable?
Some people do.
Some
Kids do. Some
yeah,
kids
I'm saying
don't.
many young people.
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
Many is more than 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you put it that way.
Whenever I mean many, I mean as in it's hard for me to imagine the
more than
numbers.
triple.
No.
More than
no.
Yeah.
You completely just missed what I said.
Yeah,
what did I say?
I completely missed what you said.
No, before that.
When you said many, I did not hear it.
Yeah,
nothing from
exactly.
you.
Because you're thinking of your own thing. Okay, so when I think of many, I think of like more than I can think about tangibly. So like if we think of a stadium, like can you guys think of 10,000 people?
Yep.
Like I find it hard to think
barely
about.
hard. It was really hard to think of.
I can imagine it, but they're all a blur.
No, but like
10,000 is a large number.
it's a large number.
To think about.
Like 100 people is still a large number.
Yeah, like fitting 100 people in a room is a lot.
That's true.
Yeah.
So like to think like
No, but like
1,000.
I think
10,000.
I think it's easier to perceive it if I'm like farther away kind of thing, or if I have like a bird's eye view.
But then you don't get the same sense of scale.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So you can't really.
Your perception is
Your
wrong.
perception is skewed.
Well,
Is what I'm trying to say.
yeah. Oh, like if I. Well,
That's
if
the whole
I was,
point. That
if I
was the whole point. That it's a
oh,
large
okay,
number,
yeah,
therefore it's
yeah.
difficult to perceive
I guess
because
so.
in terms of the scale.
Like
there's one
have
day.
you done the second day's exercise?
Second day's exercise. How many?
So how many
seconds is how many days is a million seconds?
Let me just do some math.
No, it's how many
Yeah. How many days are a million?
How
seconds?
long is a million seconds?
How many days? Million
Seconds.
Should be around 12, 14 days.
11 and a half.
11 and a half.
11 had it.
Okay, so how many days is a billion seconds? So one order of magnitude higher. No, that's actually three order.
3 order of magnitude.
Four orders of magnitude higher. Three orders.
Yeah, 3 orders.
Give me like 2 seconds,
1
dude. Hold on.
billion.
Holy.
What? Where's that from?
Which? Oh, that's
You said that in such a particular manner. I feel like it was from.
That's from
movie.
Austin Power.
There you go.
Oh.
That's the one.
$1 million.
Over 1,000. 11,000.
Change that to years. Change that day to years.
Yeah.
Year.
Month, calendar year.
Then refresh. So is it not
Where's
loading?
the refresh button?
This is entertaining to watch.
Yeah. Oh,
God damn. Hold on. How many?
How many?
Google. You had one
Seconds
job, Google.
in
One job.
in a year.
Year.
Yeah.
31 calendar years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
31 and a half calendar years.
31.7, but yeah.
Yeah.
Who's counting? Anyway, yeah.
So you
okay.
go from 11 days.
12 to be
11
if you round
days,
it up.
12 to 31.7
0.7 years
years.
by adding 3 zeros.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big number.
That's a big number.
Sure, absolutely.
No, but that's my point. It's like it's difficult to perceive. So going back to the whole point of Jaden Smith having, and like many young people following him.
Mm.
That's why I was like, there's probably some type of imperceptible, at least to me.
Okay. Anyway.
Why did
going
you
back?
said the tweet?
Yeah, I know.
What was the
yeah.
tweet?
One of the tweet approximately goes, if babies could talk, they'd be the smartest people in the world. It's like,
That was dumb.
No,
Yeah.
that's dumb.
yeah,
They're-
they're sponges, but they're not smart.
They're
They have the
most
potential of
They
being
have no
super
knowledge.
smart.
curious.
Yeah.
Okay, so wait. Okay.
Anyway, let's go back to Hollow Knight for like 2 minutes. I got the base ending for the game, and wow.
You moved tears?
No, like actually, when I first beat the final boss,
Yeah.
to get the bait.
You spoiled it for me. You're suggesting that that's not a final boss.
The final boss.
You should have just said final boss.
Yeah,
Just
you-
Way
said
to spoil it.
Don't worry, I don't even know
I
what the final
No,
boss is.
No, don't worry about it. I'm just.
But like my brother was watching me because I just struggle because I'm bad at reacting.
Yeah.
Like by the time I'm done thinking I should move out of the way, I already take the hit.
Do you see the
Yeah.
thing being
Like
telegraphed?
I see the telegraph, I see the wind up. It's like I should move out of the way, but I'm too busy swinging my nail.
Maybe
I'm
you're-
too busy.
You're just
attacking.
too greedy.
Yeah, I'm too greedy for hits, man.
So it's not about reaction.
It's
then.
not reaction. It's just
being
you
more-
being
It's just
greedy.
you being a greedy fuck.
It's true. I is though. I want my extra hits, man.
Yeah,
Anyway.
it's so you're greedy.
I mean, extra hits for life is probably not worth, but. I mean,
No, life is a
to each
resource.
their own.
That's a
Life is
bad
a
trade
resource.
in my opinion. Even though I do it the same thing also.
And because I was playing that at night,
Ah.
and I had to I didn't have my volume all the way up.
Yeah.
Like my brother and I was like taking it off as a joke and kind of thing.
Ah.
He's like, "Oh, this boss is hard," and I read his lore and I cried. It's like, damn, what have I done? Like, I am a monster. It's like, damn. But that's a wonderful game. And now, I've been playing that game for like over 30 hours, and I only got 80% completion. And there's like a whole...
Does that include any DLC?
Huh? No.
Oh, okay.
At least I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
And I know and I've just discovered like a whole new area that I should have probably gotten before I fight the boss.
Mm.
And I'm trying to fight that boss, and that guy is tough once again because I'm too greedy.
Yeah.
Also, I'm not too used to his telegraphs, because the last boss I fought, like, his telegraphs are very distinct. It's kind of slow for me to understand, like, see. But the boss that I'm fighting right now, it's like, all right, I'm hit. Damn.
You could say.
Probably some type of pattern that you're just not latching onto.
No, I understand the pattern. I just gotta press buttons faster.
No, I'm saying like there is like stuff leading up to the specific move that he's going to do, not necessarily just the telegraph.
Oh no!
Yeah.
All his moves are sort of randomized. Like,
Are they?
it's not like attack A and then proceed to do attack B.
Yeah.
He'll do attack A, and then attack C, and then attack B.
Maybe it has to do with the like life bars or something.
No.
Like past a certain threshold, he goes into a phase, and then.
Oh,
does
like he has a
particular
phase,
moveset.
no health bars. The game doesn't show health bars. But I know he does have a phase because he'll start doing different moves.
Maybe you just have poor strats.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
me
he
being
does.
greedy.
No. I mean like in response to specific moves.
No, it's usually
Like as in like you aren't option selecting.
no, it's
As
more
in
like
like you're standing, you're not spacing, you're not at a particular space
yeah.
where you can.
I unintentionally put myself at a disadvantage kind of thing.
Yeah.
But my strats are usually I think the problem is that, which goes with basically all the games I play, is like I don't know how to close out games properly. Like I'll start well at the start. Like I see the patterns, I'll react and then like retaliate.
Mm-hmm.
But then I take a few hits and then I start panicking. It's like I only have like X number of hits left before I die. So I like immediately start trying to play defensively,
Yeah.
and then that puts me on a back footing. Which
Well, I
is
mean,
bad.
you've identified the problems. So maybe
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I just need to execute my strats a little bit better.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that
And be less greedy.
No.
Let's go.
Or like work better under pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
Just
works
treat it-
also.
That's
treat
true.
like you have one hit the entire time.
Yeah.
yeah.
Big on my one-hit wonder.
Yeah. But yeah, that game is phenomenal. Top 10 easily. Top 5 easily.
I don't know. This whole concept of Metrovania seems kind of like
You don't like it?
it's okay. I don't know why.
You want to do
I don't know
another
why it
take at
became a
that?
change. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's not
What's
Appealing?
Oh, what's okay about Metrovania, Edric?
the platforming aspect isn't really too appealing to me.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's another thing.
It's like
I'm so bad at platforming.
I don't particularly enjoy the 2D aspect of it. I prefer like.
Would you prefer 3D platforming? Like
No.
64?
Platforming as a whole, like making sure that you can jump on platforms and stuff, isn't not necessary. Like it's not.
It's not a challenge that you like?
Yeah, it's not necessarily gratifying for me. Like I'm traversing, unless it's like unless it's like Mirror's Edge.
Where it's all nice and
3D platforming is different in that sense, because you're interacting with the space differently rather than
Yeah,
just
that
like
point A to point B.
no, just jumping.
safe.
Jumping,
into
and then you have to readjust mid-air to see if you're gonna land on that
Yeah, that's
spot.
another thing that bothers me too. Is like the 3D space of like adjusting your jump arc in the air is kind of like is not gratifying.
3D?
Yeah.
What about Mirror's Edge?
Mirror's Edge doesn't
technically-
have that.
Well, it's technically a platformer, though.
It is, but it
It
doesn't
is.
have that.
It
It's
doesn't
like
have-
once you've committed to a jump, that's
You commit to that
You're
jump.
committed.
yeah. It's not like Mario where it's like, oh, I did a backflip. Wait, let me stay in place.
Let me abuse my game mechanics.
Yeah.
That's another thing I've noticed because I saw a speed run with my brother of any % Hollow Knight,
Yeah.
and holy cow, some of the mechanics like the players do, like I didn't even think about. It's like, excuse me, you can use the projectiles to get more hang time for you to get to another platform that you're not supposed to go yet. Like, amazing.
Yeah, I tend to find those things in games too, and you just abuse whatever.
Well, that's what
types of
speedrunners
movement.
do, right?
Well, not just speedrunners. I'm just saying,
Oh.
it's like if there's any sort of movement based
That you can exploit.
Yeah, I tend to gravitate towards wanting to explore my movement options.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
'cause-
like, yeah, like I said, the whole jumping aspect and like landing on platforms isn't really appealing to me.
Fair enough.
I like hitting stuff.
That's one thing that you could always do in Hollow Knight, because there's a
It's
lot of
stuff.
breakable stuff. Like just
No,
throw it
but
like
not
an
so much
overworld,
like breaking things.
No, you just want to
hit bad guys.
hit bad
Yeah.
guys.
Like it needs to be like a challenge type of deal.
Hollow Knight is challenging for me because I'm bad at that game. I'm trying
But
to
there's
get
platforming
least
aspect
okay at.
and edge it doesn't really
that's
enjoy
turn off
about
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The cons
A lot
outweigh
of
the
the way you
pros.
a lot of the way you navigate the game
through.
is,
Because it breaks up into two parts basically.
I'm not saying that's
the
a bad-
combat
I'm not saying that's bad game design. I'm just saying
and
it's
then
not for me.
platforming.
Yeah, it ain't your cup of tea.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Like I don't really enjoy playing Metroidvania games. Also, like Metroid and even Castlevania games are.
I like the
Did-
challenge.
I like the progression.
Oh yes.
I like the leveling up and collecting things, but the whole aspect of like for me,
Precision
navigating
jumping.
precision jumping and navigating from one place to another place needs to be fun. And if it's not fun and gratifying, it can be fun and gratifying. I'm not saying Mario games aren't gratifying,
But it feels like a chore when you're backtracking or moving through the same space over and over again.
to me it's a chore because I don't find enjoyment in precision jumps.
Fair enough. All right, let's get me. I'm gonna go back to Hollow Knight in a bit
So-
after the topic. So let's get into the topic.
So speaking of characters, our topic was to
I like that.
to
I like
base on to build a character, whether it's from the topic I gave you or one you can make on the spot.
I think I made one on the
And-
spot.
It was just it doesn't have to be long or extenuous, but it's just a way to also
You keep doing
exercise
you. I'll
our
keep doing me.
exercise our creative ideas of like world building or either just how we think laterally. Mm-hmm. So who wants to start?
Damn it.
I mean, I'm gonna go last.
Huh?
I'm gonna go last.
I'm
You
gonna
wanna go last?
I'm gonna actually go first.
You wanna
so I
go
can
first?
Get mine out of the way.
Okay.
I'm just gonna put this in chat. Control X.
Control X.
You're
Wait.
over.
That's the wrong keyboard.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, why do you guys have 3 keyboards?
That's the wrong keyboard.
Apparently.
Control X.
Control X. Control X.
Damn it. My micro needs to get better. There you go. What? Forget that. I'm gonna use my. Damn it!
It's 200 words.
I know.
Control X.
Ah, damn it!
Allow me to do it while you read off of that.
Okay.
Because
I'm bad at apparently counting words. So, my character is a dwarf.
A dwarf.
Broldo the Beardless.
Broldo.
He's an artificer.
See, I didn't think of the name because I wanted to do something about determination Vietnamese.
Cool. So, Broldo the Beardless, unlike other dwarfs who are basically born with beards, Broldo was born without beards. Wasn't born with that's double negative. Was born without beard.
That's good.
I should
good.
probably
No, it's way better than that.
wasn't born with. In
It's
fact,
way
he
better.
was born with beards. He quickly became an outcast, kind of like Rudolph. Very seasoned.
Like, as a kid?
Yes, at a very young age, and he was just owned by his parents, who also had a full bushy beard, even the mother.
So they come out with a beard?
Yes, I that's what I like to believe.
Okay.
Lore
At
lore
least
of
the
dwarves.
society that you've
Yes.
determined, like,
Yes.
your person's coming
The
from.
dwarves,
Yeah.
both men and women, they're basically born with beards.
Yeah.
Like they start off small, but they
Yeah.
boosh out real quick.
Yeah.
Broldo tried everything to grow even the smallest of beards to impress and please and impress his peers, but inevitably failed.
Okay.
This got him the title the Beardless and 2 other things.
So you got the title Beardless as a kid.
Yes. And this is gonna go
People
through.
have been giving titles. Okay.
Yeah.
I just-
Everybody gets a title. Depends on
Okay,
at a very young
continue.
age. First was, fuck. I really need to review these.
No,
things.
don't worry about it.
Was the first. He was the first dwarf to be alive without a beard.
What do you mean, first dwarf to be alive without a beard?
Maybe there was a dwarf in the past times who died, and he also didn't have a beard, or he got it shaved or something. Second was his hatred for anyone who wasn't a dwarf that had beards, like men,
Okay.
Orcs with beards.
Yeah.
So he hates
Facial-
anybody
Yeah.
with facial hair that isn't a dwarf. He left his home.
Yeah. What'd you say?
I can't really hear.
Hold on, I'll be there. Keep talking to John.
He left his home and land to continue his quest to find someone who can help grow his beard.
So you built a character around a
beard.
beardless beard.
A beardless dwarf. Yeah.
You should make him a beardless bard. Make an alliteration, but oh wow.
Roldo the Beardless.
Continue.
That's it. That's
Let
it.
this-
Also, I'm sorry, I wrote this. I've been brewing this idea for about half a week.
Oh.
And I wrote this
partially.
last night. That's why I didn't edit this out. I'm sorry. That's why there is pronunciation and
Yeah.
syntax and errors and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
That's my bad. I gotta
Okay.
learn. I gotta learn to not do that. I gotta just like I need to learn how. It's not even about learning. I need to start writing ideas down.
We've been saying this.
I'm
for the
sorry.
past
Which is ironic
year.
because my brother got me a notebook
Yeah.
to write things on
Yeah.
for Christmas.
Yeah.
And I haven't used it yet.
Oh my god.
This gives me an
this
incentive
is-
to start
for
writing
your-
things down. But yeah, that's my
For
character.
your New
Roldo the
Year
Beardless.
resolution, as Edric will hate it.
I actually don't like any resolutions of any kind,
I know.
especially when it's tied to a holiday
Yeah.
or a day.
Or a year.
Yeah, which is silly because you should have these. You should be having these on the fly and on a consistent.
You should
level.
you should be continuously
Yeah.
doing this, but you should be writing down your ideas.
You know what? You're right. I made a mistake, and I'm gonna try to fix that.
Like, I've been doing that also.
Good,
I've been
good on
writing
you.
down stuff such as like I have
Like
my
I like even if it's not in a notebook, I should be just writing it down. You know, like I could be writing stuff down on my phone.
if I want to make a D&D game.
Holy shit!
So I've been writing down cities and ideas. So
Oh, okay.
I only have 2 cities right now.
Which is good because we can actually swap ideas. Because I've been trying to make a world for my Ryutama campaign as well.
Yeah, I'm basically using your Ryutama base, but
Are you?
I'm using it as a base and
Oh, okay.
altering a lot of mechanics. for
Cool.
it.
Wait, what? Really? Cool. So what you missed is that he hates people with beard.
Yeah.
That isn't a dwarf, and so he left his home to find somebody who can help him grow a beard. That's the end of his. That's yeah.
So I'm
that's
guessing you're prompt with beards.
yeah. Or
So
the lack thereof.
John, how's the process? How
What was
did
my
you-
thought process?
Yeah, what was your thought process of building this character?
So originally, it was going to be about just like halflings, actually,
Okay.
because I can relate to them because we're both short.
Okay.
But then I realized, like, I'm like tall halfling. I've already like basically spoiled that, so I'm gonna try something else.
Okay.
So what other race is short? Dwarves.
Okay.
What are some key features of a dwarf? A beard.
Okay.
What if I took that away?
Okay.
Okay.
That was basically my thought process.
And so how long in total would you say it took you to think about this?
About half a week.
Half a week.
Yeah, because I was thinking about
Why
different
was
races
it so
as well.
difficult to
Because
mull over?
I was actually trying to think about different races as well.
Because I didn't think about races at all because of in the case
Oh.
of I didn't necessarily know EJ's world
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
and what.
Well, the races I haven't really solidified. I'm just building the world right now, building
Yeah.
places and icons.
See, you said D&D, so I was all like D&D. Let's check out the races. Who are short races?
Like I was
in D&D?
thinking more of archetypes to make.
Yeah. That's what I did
Was I
also.
supposed to
I
do
made
that?
an architect also.
Was I supposed to do that?
No.
No.
Start
Yeah,
with races,
This
dude.
what you did was fine.
It's fine.
Okay.
Actually, yours is pretty common amongst a lot of people.
Damn it!
Same with Edrix. Edrix, a lot of DMs, dungeon masters will just build archetypes and then
Oh.
apply a race to it,
Oh,
and then work their way around. That's what Edric did.
oh.
But a lot of players also will do what you did. Will pick a race and then
Damn it.
build upon that.
Yeah. Why are you saying damn it?
And
Because I thought I'd be unique by making a beardless dwarf.
no, the beardless dwarf is unique.
Yeah.
But
Just the approach.
it's just the
Oh.
approach is pretty.
Damn it.
It's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I was trying to think about different races first.
Yeah.
What are some short races? Apparently goblins and kobolds or whatever.
Yeah.
Halflings, gnomes.
Yeah.
But I also like dwarves because they're pretty rad.
So what's your obsession with facial hair?
Also, another thing
It was
that's
just because it was the main trait of the race.
that and
Therefore-
also I can't grow facial hair very well.
Yeah.
I can also relate. Dwarves are short, and the only thing that's opposite of me and dwarves are they have bushy beards and I don't, and I can't grow facial hair. It's like, wait, I could use that
Yeah. That's good.
because you know
That's pretty
kobolds
good.
and goblins can't really grow beard. Let's be
I
real.
find it.
Or I could
Why didn't you describe like in terms of physicality traits? Why is it that you just stuck to facial hair? Why didn't you like elaborate past that?
It's a good question. I didn't really give myself the time to elaborate on it.
Okay, no worries.
Yeah.
No worries.
No worries. Yeah,
You're
I mean,
doing
like
good.
you also said this. You did this at the last minute.
I wrote this last night. I've been brewing it for half a week.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Why the name Beroldo?
I don't know. I just thought of it.
Because like
This was completely.
that's why I didn't want to
spontaneous.
name my character either. Because I'm all about the. I was talking about this before I had to go. Nominus, determinus nomino, nominus.
Nominus.
Yeah, meaning that you can determine someone's face based on the face. Determine someone's fate based on what name you give them. So generally speaking, names are given tons of
Meaning?
narrative
Meaning.
and themes.
Yeah.
What about?
Especially in novels and stuff. Right.
Would that apply to titles as well, like The Beardless?
Sure.
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, yeah,
But I'm
I
talking
mean-
about like how. What are some movies? Here's some movies.
Lord of the Rings,
No, not
Star
fantasy,
Wars.
Not fantasy, like novels.
Novels.
Star Wars,
The names of some
Like-
people
Luke Skywalker.
Like
Sure.
Lord of the Flies.
and how some of their
Some of the children's names relates to
Their fate?
No, their position and hierarchy.
no,
like,
not necessarily that. Just like how some of their some people's names can reflect what their character arc is going to
Arc should be,
become. Or
yeah.
like what
Oh,
their-
like Artorias, the Abyss Walker,
that's more so like a title.
A
or,
title.
or Solaire.
Yeah, Solaire is one. Light, yeah.
Yeah.
Nito.
I mean,
What's
not
it?
necessarily, because that's more so describing what they are rather than
Oh.
describing what their character arc is going to
Oh.
be.
What's the Onion Bro's name? Onion Boy.
The Knight of Katarina.
Oh, he doesn't have a name.
I don't know.
He doesn't really have a name.
Oh,
No,
cool.
I don't know his
His
name.
name.
I just
Oh.
can't remember. No, I'm trying to think of
Ferda Pygmy.
Ferda. Ferda Boys. No, sorry.
All right, fair enough.
No, there are some classic literature that does this.
Samwise Gamgee.
There's
Lord of the
how about Heart of Darkness?
Look it up.
What do you want me to look up?
Nominal determination.
Nominal determination.
Nominative. Yeah.
Example.
Examples.
Sure. Mark the Man. Sarah Blizzard. Usain Bolt.
Yeah.
Gary-
Usain Bolt's pretty nominal.
Yeah, he's fast boy.
Yeah,
Like-
that's what.
Like
hence
the bolt of
yeah,
lightning.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
8R with cock shot.
You know what? Sure, why not? Right. The last one.
Cockshot.
W
circumcision
cockshot.
advocate. Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like how.
How names are their fates, kind of thing.
Yeah, so that's why I didn't want to name my character. essentially.
No, Broldo was basically
Something
spontaneous.
Okay.
What's a dwarvish name? Broldo sounds pretty dwarvish.
Dorvo also sounds like a miner.
Yeah,
Dorvo also sounds
Roldo
like a
the Miner?
barbarian.
Okay, so why didn't you go into class per se in terms of combat stats? That got me like thinking for a long while. Is like how would my personality traits and attributes translate into combat? Because generally speaking, D&D revolves around combat. It's
That's true.
Yes, it's true.
Also, actually, originally I wanted Broldo to be like a wizard. Because wizards
a
also.
dwarf.
also
Dwarvish
stereotypically have beards.
Yeah. But then I think that's going too far, so I decided to wind it back a little
Yeah.
bit. It's like, what's like a magish, what's like a wizardy class? Artificers, you know, they and which also fits with the theme of dwarves, machinery, tinkering, and artificers are kind of like magic-y, but with more mechanical stuff. So I decided to roll with an artificer. I was also thinking about either going with a barbarian
So how would that translate into combat?
combat. What do you mean?
As in, like, does he enhance his tools and fight with his tools? Is he more so like creating summons and creating mechanized minions
It's
to fight
more.
for
It's
him?
more like suiting himself up.
Is it more about
It's more like
empowering his the rest of
allies?
his party members with like combative enchants and like
War cries.
war
cries are like barbarian
That's
stuff.
barbs.
Yeah, barbs. Yeah.
Is it more so like wizardy electricity stuff, and he channels the power of electricity? And
Like
the first one.
unlimited power.
Stop making references.
Okay.
You need to, like, as much as references are great and all.
Yeah.
When people don't understand the references, they're left out.
Okay.
Right.
I was actually gonna say, maybe artificers for like more tinkering, so like he just like summons more things to do his job for him, while he.
So minions.
Yeah, minions.
Okay.
I was also gonna go with like maybe like a dwarvish rogue because he has a hatred for.
That would
beards.
fit within that thing too, because like since he got ostracized, he wanted to make his own friends. Therefore,
Yeah.
he wanted like.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was either gonna be a wizard, a rogue, and then I went with artificer because if he was a rogue, he just like cut people's beards.
Yeah.
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 Because his hatred
Yeah.
for other people's beards.
He'd be a very good barber.
Yeah. I want that to be
Broldo the barber.
Roldo the barber.
Yeah, you could have made him a barber class.
I wish that was a thing.
Yeah, why not? You can. No one's telling you can't.
Well, like I was trying to fit this in the theme of like Dungeons and Dragons. the
Yeah,
game.
you could make a barber class.
Yeah. There's a.
That's
Why do you have to? Why do you make
That's
that?
a
fit?
lie.
No, you can make homebrew classes. It's allowed.
no,
Yeah.
that's illegal. Artificers are legal. Dwarves are legal. Barbers are illegal.
Okay, go, EJ.
What?
Unless you're done.
I'm basically done.
Okay.
I'm just ranting at this point.
So my approach was basically I took the generator and give some base ideas for it, and so I made a barbarian warlord that follows their god, a god, which is a boar deity. Using using his military strength, he conquers multiple lands and territory to further expand his god and his tribe's lands. He wears pelt and leather clothing to prevent immobility and ease of movement on their mount, which is a boar-like horse.
Oh.
Wait, before you
Wait, a
continue,
boar-like horse.
Yeah.
is it more?
Don't you mean
boar
just like a
or warg?
boar mount?
I want to say it's a boar that's the size of a horse.
Okay, because when you say boar-like horse,
Yeah.
I'm thinking like a horse, like a boar with a horse neck.
Or I was actually thinking.
Okay.
I was actually thinking like a horse with like a boar tusk or something like that.
Oh, you're thinking that?
Yeah.
No, I was thinking like a fat pig with like an extended neck.
No, because he said boar-like horse.
Yeah,
right?
that's what I mean.
So like it's like a horse with boar features. Boar-like horse.
Sure.
It's a horse with boar features, so like a
A
tusk.
horse like a boar is what I'm thinking of.
Okay. Anyway, also I
Yeah.
have a very quick question.
Yeah.
So this guy's a conqueror. Is his name Alexander?
I haven't even given it a name.
Damn it! All right. Anyway, you can
okay.
continue.
So he carries around a hatchet for both means of survival and hunting.
Oh, that's nice.
Slinged over his shoulder is a bow that is a recurve.
Yeah, recurve bow.
Yeah. Around his neck are tusks of a great boar he hunt.
Not his
So
So
mom,
he
though.
has that's kind of strange.
Which?
It's like a.
No, but I'm just saying he mounts boars.
Yeah.
At the
But
same
he
time, he
also
also hunts them.
That he hunt. I haven't further elaborated.
Okay,
on that.
I just
haven't
say that's
further-
kind of strange.
I know
That's
it's kind of.
just weird.
I just putting down ideas.
He has a boar deity and hunts boars.
does
These are just
the deity
ideas I
think
just
of?
jot down for him.
What does the deity think of him?
I know, that's
His
what I was
actions.
thinking.
Anyway,
And he has tusk-like tattoos wrapping around his shoulders and trails down his back.
cool. Man, you have
What tusk like what?
tattoos.
Tusk-like tattoos.
Okay.
That's
Tusk-
wrapped
As in
around
like
his.
tattoos that like protrude from his skin?
No.
No,
tattoos,
the
dude.
tattoos are
Like
are
body modifications?
No,
just
it's-
normal tattoos.
that was
they're like
cool.
tattoos, but
Yeah, they're
It's
just
tusks.
like tucks.
yeah,
tusks.
yeah, that's wrapped around his shoulders and trailed down his.
That's
back.
cool.
I mean,
My guy just has beardless.
I'm being pedantic here.
Okay, go ahead.
But tusks from a distance just look like triangles. So it's difficult to really interpret triangles as that's definitely a boar tusk. You know what I mean?
Of
Sorry.
like a pendant, a person who is excessively concerned with formalism, accuracy, and precision.
Yeah,
there you
or
go.
one who makes
Being pedantic.
one who makes an ostracization and arrogant show of learning.
Ostentatious.
Ostentatious.
You gotta stop using big words.
Yeah, I'm being pedantic here. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, as cool it is to have tusk tattoos, it's
Yeah.
for anybody. Like, the whole point of a tattoo is to show other people. It's not for yourself. Right?
Hold on. I got a question though. Most people don't look at tattoos from afar. They want to come closer to look at tattoos.
Okay, but even then, triangles don't particularly stand out to me in saying that boar tusk. Like,
Fair enough.
seeing a triangles, I don't immediately think boar
Or
tusk.
tusk. Yeah.
Maybe you'll be more impressed. Like you'll
closer
be less,
you go.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you're looking at afar, it's like let's go to
What?
triangle
So
tattoo.
apparently he's getting like photorealistic tusk tattooed into him. Is what you're telling me?
No,
so
no.
I could definitely tell.
Maybe the tattoo artist was like a godlike tattoo artist, dude. Maybe, and he got really realistic tusk tattoos.
No, I'm just saying as a whole, like in terms of iconography, it just doesn't necessarily make sense to make tusks as your main iconography.
Listen, Alexander.
I'm
just
being
wants to-
pedantic.
I know
I'm just
you're
saying.
pedantic, but
He just wants to please his god, all right? Getting tusk tattoos. All right, continue, please.
yeah, that's it. That's
it?
Yeah.
So why did you choose from the shoulder until it? Wait, what did you say?
Shoulder to the back.
Shoulder to down, trailing down to
Yeah.
the back.
Why is it that?
I wanted like it's like a sense of like
A sash?
a power, like
What do you mean a power?
like the way
Oh,
I
I
wanted to
see,
go
yeah.
around with this is the tattoo is a gift from the gods.
I get that.
Yeah.
Why specifically the location of the shoulder
Yeah.
to the back?
To the back, it's
What sort of significance does that hold for his tribe or like whatever?
well, I was more
Like,
thinking
why not have it on his forearm? Why not have it on his fingers? Why not have it on his palms? Why not have it on his?
Because it's hard to see
Lack
on the
of
palms,
beard.
dude.
well,
why not?
I was thinking more along the lines of like it's symbolized like him carrying his tribe.
Oh, okay.
That's
Something
cool,
like
That's good.
dude.
That's good.
Like
significance.
because when he became chieftain,
Yeah.
like the leader of his tribe, he had to kill a boar
boar.
on a sacred land,
Yeah. Okay.
and thus the
That
necklace that he has and the tattoo on his back
Okay.
Cool. Did that anger his god or appease him?
appease it.
Thanks for killing one of my kind. Now you are one of us.
No, it was more like I sent this. You had to kill this
Oh.
kin because I sent out to kill you.
Okay.
Kind of that.
Oh, it's like
That's
a test of right kind of
Yeah,
thing.
test the right.
Like a rite of passage.
Yeah,
there you
rite
go.
of
Sorry.
passage.
Test of rite of passage. Same diff.
Bless you.
Right.
I also have
Was that it?
I'll have also have a small.
How large is this guy?
Huh? I haven't really
About
figured
four
out,
size.
but I was thinking
Why?
more.
Okay.
Huh?
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. What?
What? Okay. So in terms of when you're thinking about your character,
Yeah.
you guys like to really think about narrative arcs and
Yeah.
like events.
Yeah.
Well, how come physical attributes don't come so much into play?
What do you mean?
Height, dimensions,
Oh.
their gait, the way they walk, the way they hold themselves, their demeanor.
Because
I don't
I
think
feel
that kind of stuff
because
with
I feel like
words.
you could after you build a narrative, you can build a physical attribute to go with those narratives.
It could be the other way around though.
That's what I did. I
Yeah.
went the other way around. I started off with physical attributes and then derived all of my characteristics off of physical attributes. Because oftentimes that's what occurs.
Yeah.
Maybe. Like in the real world, you don't start with a narrative.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
Like a person, when they're
True.
born, generally speaking, it's both their environment and
But
physical
when
attributes that sets
say
whatever
when you're
they-
building a character to be a foil of another character that you're starting off with, don't you need to build in a narrative first and then work on the physical attributes of that character to match or a foil or even complement another character?
Sure. If you want to make specifically one foil character who matches that, but I
Yeah.
feel like as a whole that's kind of an overused trope.
Okay.
Doesn't necessarily have to be one specific foiled character.
I know that, but it's just a thought or a process or one way of
Yeah, it is one way of doing about it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's not something I particularly think is It is a good way of doing it. What I was gonna say, it's people do it a lot.
Okay.
It's something I'd like to subvert or avoid.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. And it's nothing wrong against it.
So why?
Short arms, dude.
So what did you imagine your character would look like? Or what type of person would fulfill this type of role in this narrative? What would they seem like? Look like?
Like I haven't really flushed it out, but I imagine a large, tall, muscular.
Wait, sorry. What race is he? Sorry.
I haven't picked out a race yet for him. Also,
Really? Wow.
It's
a character.
It's just an archetype right now.
Okay. Cool.
You can say.
Yeah, but like, what type of person / figure would assume this role in this narrative that you'd imagine?
Like I imagine a large, muscular man or being. Who, although he looks like an outworlder, like a barbarian, like
A foreigner.
A foreigner, yeah. He has wits when it comes to combat and hunting.
Yeah.
But not, probably not in terms of like political commerce amongst people and stuff.
He's not good at socializing.
Amongst other people.
Yeah, but you also mentioned that he was a chieftain.
Yeah, but not.
But you mentioned he was a chieftain.
Yes.
So a consequence of being a chieftain is that you're exposed to that sort of thing.
Yeah. Yes, if you're well renowned in amongst your own people, yes.
Regardless, even if you use intimidation or fear tactics, that's still a form of politics.
Okay.
And you could still be well versed in that.
Okay, I didn't know that's a politic. I didn't know
Fear
about
tactics.
that fear tactic is a form of
Like there's an
politics.
art to an intimidation.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking more along the lines of he used intimidations and force just to gain territories and conquer nations. But I didn't know that was a politic, an art politic.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, in terms of habitats, where would he live?
I was thinking more along the lines of like he's a nomad. Nomad, yeah. Nomad.
Yeah.
Like he travels around with since he travels a lot, and he basically lives the way of the land, so he has like a small hut.
Okay.
And
like a tent.
Yeah.
A yurt.
A yurt.
That's the proper term.
A yurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Anything else to that?
How
long did you think about this whole thing?
So the way I started was I started writing down like things relating to the words that was given to me. So like the exercise that we did last week, a couple weeks ago, which was
a week ago.
No, a couple weeks ago.
It was a couple of weeks ago.
It was yours, and then that was the anime, and then it's mine's now.
Get corrected on your correction.
Yeah, so I basically did that exercise. I basically did that exercise with Warlord, Build, Deity, and Upheaval. And then so from there, it helped me narrow things down and what kind of character I want to build. And so from there, it took me like a good week or 5 days. Every single day, I like, this is another trait of this. Let me write it down. This is another trait of this category. I should write it down. And then, just last night, I tried to summarize it all.
Cool.
Good. Great.
Yeah. So that's how I processed it.
Awesome.
Okay. Next is Lord Goose.
He wrote a lot.
Stop Stop
This is-
unintentionally one-upping me, please.
This is a full on character.
Yeah.
So I want to start off.
Scoliosis.
What?
I'm just reading the top part. Oh my goodness.
So like
Yeah.
I wanted to go with
You've already-
first off.
You've already crippled the man.
Yeah. I got inspired by thinking about what it means to be literate and the idea of literacy in a D&D fantasy world.
Yeah.
And how valuable literacy is and is perceived.
Yeah.
Because not everyone's going to be literate, and oftentimes arcane arts is a different type of literacy, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna make a literate guy, but I don't want to stick to the regular. Because if you are a scribe, if you are like a royal, noble person, you are more likely to become a scribe.
Yeah.
Because you need to be affluent to have those types of resources, right? So I wanted to go the opposite direction. And so, what type of person who was not affluent would be led down the path of literacy? And so the only people that I would think of were people with disabilities, because quite literally there's no other way to survive physically, right? You would need to be literate in order for people to value you.
Okay.
Otherwise they just throw you away, right? So I start off at there,
Yeah.
and I afflicted my character with scoliosis and farsightedness, right? So scoliosis, because I wanted my character to just not be effective in combat and not be like he had to be really good at what he does because he's awful everywhere else. Therefore, he'd be a really good scribe / rune maker / whatever.
You min-maxed him.
Yeah, quite literally, I've been maxed out, okay? And so since he has the disability, he becomes a social outcast because in most societies, if you're disabled, you have no value. You don't produce anything valuable.
Worth. Yeah.
Yeah, so you become a social outcast and people treat you like shit, right? And so, since he's also since he's treated like shit all the time,
Yeah.
he fights for scraps and has to find things to make things work. And that's when I got the idea, since he's always relying on these disabilities, he needs a way to compensate for that. So I was like, okay, why don't we go down the route of him being a ranger type of guy? He could have animal familiars or companions.
To do its work for him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? And I was like, okay, I could give him a snake, I could give him a bat, I could give him a rat. Like all of these small, concealable, because you can't, if you're a social pariah, you can't be seen with something like intimidating, otherwise you become more of an social pariah.
Yeah.
Right? And if you're in an urban environment, it's difficult to just care for a really big beast. Right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Wait.
So, what?
I got a quick question. Can't rangers like? Wait, no, wait. Hold. I'm thinking like the other class. Druids, yeah, that can just like summon animals at will.
No, I was thinking more
rangers. Like you need to keep them. They're basically pets.
Yeah,
You need to have at all times.
So I was thinking of specifically vermin-like
Okay.
creatures to
Okay,
be his
wow.
familiars, right? Because like that, he lives in the underbelly of an urban city,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
This is the type of guy that would grow from an underbelly of an urban city because he's the social pariah. He's disabled. He needs to rely on creatures around him for help. So I thought of a bat for like sonar and stuff, so that he could be really attuned to that. Or like a rat who's sound and smell and just like touch, just like
And night vision.
night vision and snakes. Oh, that's another thing. Yeah. So since he's also a social pariah, he doesn't like to be seen out often. So he's
goes at night.
Nocturnal. So that also pairs well with the fact that he's all of his familiars are vermin. Right.
Cool.
So
Yeah.
what else is there? He doesn't like to wash.
Yeah.
I made this very clear because he's farsighted. So therefore, it's difficult for him to see what is close to him. So he
Get
needs,
glasses, you nerd.
He needs tangible. He's a social pariah. There's no way he's gonna get glasses,
Steal one
right?
using your snake.
So he's very
bad.
Just thanks.
he touches like his sense of touch, and he learns through tangible means, right? And so if he washes himself, things end up feeling too smooth and feel like too muddied over.
Oh.
So he needs to feel textures.
Ugh.
Because if he doesn't feel textures, he feels uncomfortable. There's less information to tell if it's just completely smooth.
Yeah.
Right? So that's the big key. So he has an aversion to water.
Yeah.
Also, the fact that he has scoliosis makes it very difficult for him to swim. Right? Aversion to water. There's the fact that he's in the underbelly too, so that oftentimes sewers are around, and therefore he needs to avoid water.
He's like the reverse Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Kinda, sure. Why
Like
not?
he's a pariah, but he like instead of him being in a tall bell tower, he's in the underground.
Yeah, but the Hunchback of Notre Dame, for some reason, was still extremely dexterous,
Oh,
and like he had great physical abilities.
I feel like that's more.
despite him being a crippled person.
I feel like it's more along the lines of freaking Disney making.
Maybe,
it,
sure, why not? Okay, but I'm just saying, like, a real hunchback would actually be so useless in combat.
Yeah.
Right? So I was thinking about that, so the way he would... Okay, I haven't got into the fact that how he got literate. So, since he's a social pariah, and, what else? What else did I say?
farsighted,
Farsighted.
and he's scoliosis.
He has scoliosis.
He
He's
doesn't like
oftentimes
water.
in contact with the ground.
Yeah.
Right? So, and he doesn't want... He needs to be inconspicuous so that he doesn't become more of a social pariah, otherwise
Yeah.
people would outcast him even more.
Yeah.
Right? So he developed his own script of writing, which involved tons of like quick strokes with whatever utensils he can find around him
Yeah.
in the dirt. And he has a very keen sense of memory because oftentimes what he writes will just get trampled over by people. So he needs to be able to remember what he's doing.
So how did he? What draw him into the arcane arts?
A means of survival.
Means of survival. Okay.
Because no one else. So he lives in the underbelly. He oftentimes sees scraps and he tries to scavenge for whatever. And whatever scrappings or whatever ne'er-do-wells, black market magic comes along, he tries to learn and just overhear stuff
Oh,
and learn
he's
from that.
eavesdropping,
Yeah.
or
Okay,
letting
out
the
of
rats
sight.
do that for him.
Yeah, that too. Sure.
Okay.
And he learns that way.
Okay. I was just wondering, how does he learn it? How does he acquire these kind of arcane
Powerful
art? But
arcane
you
spells.
did explain it.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
What?
Are rangers allowed to learn magic though?
Some of them have like animal magic.
Oh.
But yeah, that's another thing. Like he doesn't necessarily have to be just a ranger. I was more so with the aspect of like a scribe / rune maker who has
Or a-
animal familiars.
Or a dirty druid.
Sure. Oh, yeah. But who has animals familiars and empowers them with runes. And so he forms his own language.
Wrong keyboard, dude.
No, this is the right keyboard.
What? What about this one?
I'm just scrolling down. Continue on, Edric.
So that was the whole thing about that. And then what I wrote down there were just notes about conversations and how he would understand how to use conversations for his betterment, because oftentimes that's his only way of contacting with other people.
Yeah.
He can't really, if he's bad in a conversation, if he's bad in first impressions, he won't get anything of his favor.
Yeah.
So he needs to become good at them. And so he does all this types of stuff, techniques. Right? And so the way it translated into combat is that he would probably have extremely high initiative because he's a tactician, because he has no other attributes to rely on.
Yeah.
And
Scoliosis
so he
is
would
bad.
plan out the battle, and he'd be a support cast character who would be
An enchanter.
inscribing / enchanting / rune making for his party members, and instruct his party members and suggest what they should be doing. So he's like a
But
battle.
he's farsighted, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So he needs to be like.
So he's sorry.
he needs to be away from the battle so he
he
can
has
see
to
the
be
battlefield better.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
No, not necessarily, dude. He relies on his other senses too,
Oh,
and he
yeah.
has familiars also.
Yeah, I guess so.
Sonar is a thing.
Sound
Yeah.
is a thing.
Snakes
Smell
are a
is a
thing.
thing.
Also, that's why he does things nocturnally,
Yeah.
like at nighttime, because then he can subvert the fact that people can see. So he fights them on even footing.
Well,
They're both at a loss of sight.
but he has the upper hand because he's got familiar.
Because yeah, he knows how to deal with the loss of sight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
That's my dude.
Cool.
Yeah.
But how would he communicate with like party members if he was a social outcast, and the only
Being a social outcast doesn't mean you can't socialize.
Yeah.
well you'll still struggle because
No.
you have less experience compared to
No.
what?
You can learn via not socialize, like via not participating. you can watch other people from afar and see what they do and
I
gauge how
guess.
they work. Also, I was also thinking about it in terms of his physicality. What would he?
Yeah.
Wear?
What's his
Scraps.
clothing or what's his attire?
He would tend to lean towards darker fabrics.
Yeah,
And
that
all of
makes
his
sense.
all of his wardrobe would be extremely smelly
Yeah.
because he doesn't like to wash.
It'll be also dark because you won't
With
see the
mud.
grime and the dirt of it.
Yeah. So, but generally speaking, it's not so foul smelling that people would want to avoid him.
It's not repulsive.
It's not repugnant. Yeah.
But it's noticeable if you get close.
Yeah. Well, that also could be a fact that he harbinges, quite literally, some rats and some bats and some snakes. So, what else? He doesn't have a walking cane because he just uses whatever.
Okay.
Like he just uses inherently. He tries to use whatever. He tries to be flexible in terms of his tools
Okay.
because he knows for a fact they can be taken away from him at any time. Doesn't like to wear shoes because he likes feeling. Maybe he should wear shoes.
Or like a very light
Some
sandal.
sandals.
Yeah.
Some sandals.
So he can
Sandals
still
with
feel
holes.
something with his toes.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to create this character?
Probably like an entire. I've been mulling over it the entire week.
Mm.
Yeah. Any questions?
It's interesting that
Is he bald?
No.
is he thinning?
No.
So he has a full head of hair,
Yeah.
unwashed.
Yeah.
Is it long?
Not necessarily long. It's unruly. He cuts it himself with
Oh,
whatever
yeah.
Okay.
materials he can find. Because functionally speaking, it's very ragged.
Yeah, it's for sure gonna be unruly if you're gonna cut
Ragged.
it. Yeah, ragged if you're gonna cut yourself.
Yeah.
Cut your own hair. I
Yeah.
meant.
Cut it yourself.
Yeah.
Comes with ranger perks. Like,
It's
wait. I gotta very quickly Google up familiar definition.
familiar definition. I'm just intrigued how you using the tropes of the ranger and subverting them
So
bit by bit to accommodate your character that you want to build since he's a cripple and has flaws that doesn't particularly goes with ranger qualities.
the only thing that links the whole ranger thing is because he has familiars.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is going to be my next question. How did he get these animals? Did
He
did-
befriends them because he lives in the
vi-
underbelly.
Via what?
Via what do you mean via what?
Like
Oftentimes, vermin are seen as the pariah of
no.
society.
Here's the thing.
He
though.
caught it in a jar and then he starts talking to it near a river.
No.
No,
Continue.
like here's the thing. You put a rat, a bat, and a snake in the same enclosed area, they're gonna try to murder each other.
No.
No.
Yeah.
Don't.
Rats eats snake eats rats, and sometimes
Okay.
bats. You know.
No.
And bats sometimes eat snakes, but that's not the point.
But like
the only carnivorous thing here is the snake.
I'm just saying, like
The only like I said, the only carnivorous thing here is the snake,
yeah.
and some snakes are pretty docile.
I don't know. Which is
and,
another.
And I could feed them not my familiar. I could feed them other rats.
guess so. But also another thing. If he's in the underbelly, how is he supposed to recruit a snake? My back.
What do you mean recruit a snake?
Because snakes are cold-blooded by nature. They're not gonna want to be.
But there's also traders. There's people. There are traders, unwanted traders, in the underbelly of the city. Thus, you can have
I'm just
ways
saying-
a means to meet these peoples and.
What's the
ask for it.
survivability rate of a snake in a cold, damp place? Because they
What's to
like
suggest that the underbelly has to be cold and damp?
That's what I think of when I hear the underbelly of the world, like the vast sewer system kind of thing.
Okay. What's to suggest that it has to be
Cold and
cold
damp.
and damp?
A lot of water is in sewer, dampness, cold, which translates to also coldness too, because if it doesn't have a lot of ventilations and a lot of sunlight exposing it, it's gonna be cold and damp. And if it was,
Okay, so then I don't have the snake. There you go.
get wrecked.
You got me with the plot hole. There you go.
Yeah.
I don't
Got
use
him.
snake as a familiar.
You got him.
I have to stick to mammals.
Yeah,
Warm-blooded,
just mammals.
Warm-blooded bats and rats.
Yeah, that probably wouldn't kill each other.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Any other poking holes there?
No.
Any other
I'm just-
nitpicking?
It's
No,
really, really intriguing.
it's a lot more well thought out than my character, Broldo.
I mean,
If you can give him a name that doesn't like seal his fate, what would you name him?
Archibald.
he's not bald. But yeah.
It's true.
I don't know. Something like a peasant name, probably.
But that's
Probably
that-
something.
that seals his fate.
He would have to give his own name,
Yeah.
but he wouldn't want to be associated with nobles. So Archibald's out of the question. Probably like.
But that's like a
Dennis. No, not Dennis.
that's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, you know?
In what way?
Because if you give him a peasant name, you're basically sealing his fate to as a peasant. That's not true.
That's not true.
Yeah, that's not true. He could just choose not to be a peasant.
Yeah.
He could just have a peasant name.
Nominative determinism doesn't have to be true always. Just because you have Smith in your name doesn't mean you're a blacksmith.
You could be
True,
Goldsmith.
true.
Sure. But anyways.
Okay. Yeah, he could be a guy with a peasant name, but he can be like a hero at the end of the campaign kind of thing. There goes Dennis. Yeah.
His name would be Menache.
Menache. Menace. Menache.
So why scoliosis?
Because scoliosis makes it so that your spine is not formed properly.
What about cerebral palsy?
That means you have no control over your nervous system.
You,
That's different.
no, but it could be. You could use that kind of thing.
Makes it very difficult to do literacy in a world in which doesn't accommodate cerebral palsy.
It's true. Still.
Scoliosis is, I'm sorry to say, more accommodating.
Or leprosy.
Leprosy, that's too much of a pariah. I didn't necessarily want him to be
It's
like.
too extreme
I
for
didn't
the
necessarily
character.
want him to be a what do you call it? A harbinger of plague.
That's
It's just the guy rolling with bats and bats and rats.
Yeah, I mean, just because he smells doesn't necessarily he's vermin or like an actual plague bearer.
It's more like it's unfortunate.
Like he
consequence.
can still have hygiene, but still want to be still have an aversion to water.
It's true. Okay. Good character.
Huh. No, I was just looking
I'd
through
say
the...
also scoliosis goes with the fact that he's, like I said, I wanted a particular disability that would make him have to rely on the fact that he needs literacy to survive. Because scoliosis just makes it so that you can't fight. You're not.
Or you can. You'll just lose 99% of the time.
Like you're actually useless in terms of physical
Prowess.
endeavors, challenges.
I see.
Familiar, well known from a long or close association, in close friendship, intimate. Yeah.
What's a natural lifespan of a bat?
Like I said, he uses rune making to
Oh, so you just
to prolong
prolong
the lives of his familiars.
to a point where it becomes unnatural.
Sure.
Would the bat want that though?
I mean, the bat would just want whatever his owner wants because the bat
That-
lives longer because the owner's around.
It's
The
like a
relationship
mutual-
doesn't need to be like existential and like they don't need to be mutually conscious. The mutual level of conscious. I don't mind the elbow on the thing. Just don't put just leave it so like don't put the point of your elbow into my knee. That hurts really bad. But yeah, just like that. Yeah, that's fine.
I see. What's a natural lifespan of a rat? I'm kidding. Yeah, that's a pretty good character. I like Broldo better though, 'cause he has a name and a lack of beard.
Lack of beard.
And he can make his own pets. That goes
They've been recognized.
and they go through existential crisis as well.
Passing butter.
Yeah. Oh, is all the episode for Rick and Morty out?
Probably. Probably.
Season 4.
Yeah, they're only apparently doing like 5 episodes or something.
Oh, then I don't know.
Quality over quantity, as they say.
So overall, what do you think of this exercise, Cedric?
I liked
it.
it.
Was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, thinking about
This actually wants
all
me.
of the particular physical traits of my character and the details of
Yeah.
how he
Yeah.
would live his life.
Now I gotta make Chloe 3.0. Fuck.
Who?
For my Ryutama world.
Chloe?
Chloe. L-K-L-O-Y.
Alright. Is it the world?
The name of the world.
Okay.
Oh. Is it, what's its shape?
It's an egg.
Actually,
That's both inside and out.
No, actually, that's albumin that I dropped. That I dropped because it got too edgy for me. I look back, it's like, that's too edgy. Come on. Just make, like, Ryutama's supposed to be about, like, they call it the Oregon Trail of Hayao Miyazaki.
Where
So it's
everyone
supposed
just
to be-
dies of dysentery. That's the only thing I know about
It's about the journey, man.
No, I
Journey
literally...
to dysentery.
I literally only know Oregon Trail of you've died of dysentery.
I only associate
I only know Oregon Trail because of Naruto Tim, and Naruto Tim always all of his character dies of dysentery.
I only associate Oregon Trail with go as fast as you can, and everybody still dies because they get exhausted nonstop. Just go fast.
You also need to realize, like, the Oregon Trail, that sort of, like, journey, it, like, is generational.
It is generational.
Yeah.
Like, people actually, like, have
Born and
babies,
die, yeah.
raise, become adults, and then die.
Along the trip.
Yeah.
I guess they.
That's bonkers.
Yeah. I mean, okay. Listen. The description for Ryutama, that was the whole Oregon Trail thing. That wasn't from me. That was
Who
from
said that?
literally everybody.
Well, I
else.
mean, the other people don't understand what Oregon Trail
I know.
is.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
They're relating the game to it.
Yeah.
But even then,
But yeah, I wanted to make the world not as edgy. So Chloe 2.0 or 3.0 is gonna be a thing now. And
But yeah, I would love to see how this character would fare in the situation.
D&D.
indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, here's the thing. You
So,
might make a very nice.
I was also thinking about, like, how like, you want to make a character,
Yeah.
but at the same time you don't want to make him overpowered.
Yeah, it's true.
You want to give him
But
flaws.
since you are the protagonist and you want him to be
You're not.
successful.
You're just a character. Let's be
No, I'm saying when you
Yeah, I know.
design a character for yourself,
Yeah.
It's true.
you are the protagonist of your own story.
It's true.
So you are inclined. I'm saying the individual. Dude, what I'm saying is correct. If you're an individual, for you, like, to pass down your genes, you have to assume you're the protagonist of your story.
I want to play D&D. Because protagonists don't die from goddamn dysentery.
Whatever. What I'm saying is, what was I saying?
Protagonist.
You're a protagonist of your own story, so
People are inclined to give them all of the powers
yeah.
because they want them to be successful. They want them to be awesome.
Yeah.
Right?
Until you roll crit fail 3 times in a row and die. See, that's the thing. When I play D&D, like, I don't see myself as, like, I'm the hero. It's like, no, I'm just a guy whose fate is tied to a goddamn D20. Like, the first campaign that I've ever played, I saved a guy from a giant mantis, and then I proceeded to die because I'm bad at rolling dice.
Maybe you just made poor choices. Maybe you could have just not saved him and ran away. Maybe you just
Yeah, I know, that's what I'm saying.
Maybe you should
Like,
just
I
use
thought
a
I'd
bow,
be
try
the I
to
thought I'd be the hero, and then I proceeded to die. I'm like a fucking stormtrooper or a clone trooper. Like, I'm just like a faceless guy going through an adventure. Like, I don't see myself as a hero. After that incident, it's like, wow, my fate is dependent on a plastic thing
It's
that.
not. It's not. You're taking it completely different, John. You know, the dice has no bearing on whether or not you make a decision.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Perception check, roll, crit fail, or crit success, or something in between. You know.
Okay.
Like-
but there are ways to compensate for that by saying to the DM or the GM, "Hey, I would like to do this. Hey, I would
It's
like
true.
to try to do this.
It's true, but
hey, I
so-
would like to try to do this." But then instead, you're just gonna if you are suggesting that the die decides that for you, it means you're rolling for your you're rolling for your decisions.
which it shouldn't be. It's you.
Should be trying to make the
decisions.
And when you try to do the decision, there's a roll check.
Yeah, because in all
right.
honesty, there shouldn't be not a lot of checks. It's up to the player to make the decision. The only checks are usually is either combat checks, because you gotta see how well you're proficient at it,
Yeah.
or how well you're proficient at interacting the world.
It's true.
But
Yeah.
making your decisions of saying, I want to go into this town.
It's too reductionist your way of thinking
Yeah.
of D&D.
Yeah.
My life is banked on a goddamn dice.
It's not.
No, it's
Fucking
not work
D20s,
like
man.
that.
But yeah,
'Cause
I'd be excited to
There's
see how this character does.
there's
Scoliosis.
whole D&D campaigns where they don't roll a dice.
That's what kind of campaign is? What kind of D&D is this? Even Rio Tama
It's
rolls dice.
just telling a story.
Whose line is it anyway?
Yeah. There's that also.
That's what it is.
That's not D&D. That's whose line.
It's improv. It's improv.
It's improv.
That's what it is. But yeah,
I
I
guess
would like to
D&D's
see how an archetype like this would fare in a D&D.
I guess improv is D&D with dice rolls.
It-
Or D&D is improv with dice rolls. There you go.
No, D&D is improv fantasy. That's
With
how
di-
I see it.
with
no,
dice
with
rolls.
no dice rolls.
I
You
see-
don't need
I- all I see is the
dice
dice.
rolls. Dice roll is just saying pick an item in the hat. That's what you're gonna do now.
Yeah, that's what I see.
But that's an aspect of improv.
So why?
It's
I
not-
think what you see as D&D is a roguelike,
Yeah,
but the D&Ds aren't roguelike.
I
Yeah.
think so.
They're
Why?
not.
Because dice rolls, man.
We've explained it to
Just
you.
you.
D&Ds aren't roguelikes.
D&D is just storytelling.
It's true,
Yes.
but
And you're saying dice rolls, so roguelike. But D&D is not roguelike.
Yeah.
well, all the campaigns I played, there was
Like-
a lot of
like-
rolling of the dice.
The
that's what I'm-
fifth edition of D&D asks you don't need a D20. You only need one D6.
What?
Fifth edition. The goal of fifth edition was to make it more a story driven game.
I see.
So where the DM tells a story and it's up to the players to imagine and how would they interact in that story. Fourth and third edition were more of the tabletop aspect of here's a figure, here's a dice, roll your action. But they want to move away from that because they wanted more players to enjoy the story aspect, which was the original idea of D&D.
I see. I didn't know that because I think I remember playing fifth edition. There were equal amount of dice rolling as the ones that I played in the past, like past. So that I guess that's why I'm associating so much of my fate is sealed with this goddamn D20 kind of thing. I think that's why I like Ryutama a little bit more because it doesn't have a D20.
Well, Ryutama is harking back to the original D&D basically.
Wait, how?
It's more focused on story.
Oh, okay. Wait, what?
Yes.
Wait, so let me get this straight. The original first edition was more storytelling focused,
Oh yes. There's
Second, third,
no
fourth.
figurines.
and then second, third, fourth was more tabletop esque.
Yes,
And then
because they
moved
wanted
back
they
to
wanted
storytelling
they
in
wanted
the
to
fifth
add
edition.
more combat mechanics into the system.
Oh, okay.
Oh, how you're gonna interact with these monsters? How are you gonna position yourself in it?
Okay. So and then they moved back to storytelling in the fifth edition.
Yes.
Okay. I see. I didn't know that because I don't know the history of D&D.
I
All
just
know is that I just had to roll a
been
ton of dice.
watching a lot of DMs and GMs talk about tabletop games, and from the base of
Yeah.
game, which is one of the oldest mechanics, to the first edition D&D, and then now this.
Yeah. See, I guess that's why my perception of the game is completely skewed because all I see is a goddamn dice. I guess I got to change that with more Ryutama, I guess.
Like, yeah. That's why I'm interested to try Ryutama, because I want to see
Core
if I
3
can build a world out of it.
Chloe 3.0 coming in hot,
Okay.
and I'm gonna redo the races again. Races 2.5 coming in hot. So, what's objectively better? Like starting the build, like when you're doing world building and stuff, like from scratch, what would be better? Like on a micro scale or a macro scale? Like start big, go small, or start small
That's
and go
up to
big.
you.
It's up to you.
What would you like to do?
Because right now,
Do you want like a cataclysmic event that defines your entire world? Then that's macro scale, right? You have something
think-
that you want everything to be based off of. If you want something micro scale, then you just literally
worked on one city or one character.
And then branch out that way.
Way.
I think I'm gonna start micro scale. Start with the races first.
That's still kind
That's
of
macro.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wouldn't macro be like world first and then the people?
So if you make a race, what's their history? What's the race of the history? How do they become to be what they are?
You're right.
That's macro.
What would be micro then?
A church in a town, and then I decide what the storyline of the church in the town is going to be.
Or a tavern in a town.
Of the people though.
What do you mean
What of the people?
Yeah. So what are the churchgoers like? Maybe they dislike elves. I don't need a backstory about elves. They could just be like, maybe you just don't like elves.
I think I'm too.
Maybe they're xenophobic. Maybe like the children here are all blind and deaf.
Because
So,
like right now, how I'm building it, I start building with cities and then put buildings in it, and
I
then
see.
further expand on those buildings.
I'm gonna-
narrowing down.
I'm gonna.
Or you can even do a mode of transport if you want to start with like microscopic. Oh, I want everyone to be riding horses. I'm going to design my economy on horses.
Yeah.
That's micro. So
Yes.
you make an arbitrary decision and then expand outwards.
Oh, I think my thought processes are too macro. So I'm gonna try a micro scale. kind of
Okay,
thing.
so
But I'm gonna do like two separate realities kind of thing where
okay, so let's say you make a micro decision. What would that micro decision be?
start with the town.
Okay, it could even be a character. It's like, oh, I want this character. I want a character who's heroic, who is a chieftain, and he's gonna be awesome. And you can start there and just build that
Build another
character
character
and
around.
then build his community.
So what's his
around
tribe?
Yeah.
What's
Build
his
that
god,
side
his
of it.
deity? What's his lands are? What's the
Alright,
places they
I'd
hunt?
like a mountain in this region.
Yeah.
How do I want the mountain to look like? I want it to look like Mount Vesuvius, and where it covers the entire area in ash, and everyone looks like pumice pieces, pumice stones, a very porous stone. And then you can start describing the landscape and describing like all
I think-
the fine details of the sand. Like there's glass everywhere because it melted all of the sediment together and fused this crystalline lattice. And where now a new civilization comes and like, look at this crystalline lattice. Let's now worship the volcano. Like, I mean, you could go over there.
You could go like
here's
say,
the thing.
I want a large. What kind of plant you want here?
Hmm.
You want a very large tree. Who
I think
lives
I'm
in
gonna-
these trees?
I think I'm gonna have to create not like Chloe from macro scale and Chloe from micro scale. I think I'm gonna have to like make Chloe in something else.
I think where you just need to start with is you just pick a thing and you try to go as far in the details as possible until you get bored of it, and then you're like, okay, I'm gonna shelve this till
Just-
later,
Yeah, put it aside.
Do
and
something
then I'm
else.
gonna do something else and
Yeah.
just do the same
No,
thing.
because originally I
That's what I
wanted,
told EJ.
Yeah, and I took that to heart because I also made another character based off these,
Okay.
and I didn't have much details on it, so I was like, okay, let me try to further expand on the other one, and then that's what I got with.
Because I originally wanted Chloe to, like, the world. I wanted the world to be unique, like the plant. Going as far as calling it a plant.
Why?
It will, John. It
Like the
will.
geography, like
it will.
how the world like moves.
No, why unique?
Why unique?
Because
Why does it have to be unique?
I don't know.
Because
It's perfectly fine ripping things off of the things you enjoy.
Yeah.
If
And
that's
the-
what inspiration is.
Theft.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
and
Good
it,
man
it
borrows, great
the
man
be-
steals.
Said
thing-
Picasso, who probably stole it from another guy. Yeah. Continue.
Yeah. Anyways, like I was saying, like you don't need to worry about being unique because by the time you all pull it all together,
then
it
it
becomes
becomes
unique
unique.
by
Then it
itself.
becomes your own brand. You have your own stylistic things embellishing the whole thing, and it's like interwoven.
Yeah. So you start with small pieces, like literally, let me work on this piece. Okay, then let me work on the pawn. Then
gonna
let me
have to-
work on the rook. And then as soon as you build all these pieces, you look at the chess table, and then it's unique on its own.
Hey, that's not necessarily an analogy that works.
I was
I
going.
just wanted a world that kind of squishes and flattens.
What do you
Well,
mean squish
Christian-
and balance? What do you mean by that?
What do you mean by
So,
that?
because my original conception of
You want a world that implodes.
no, because I wanted a world like depending on the season, which is heavily like it's just a very very big focus for Ryutama
Yeah.
of the 4 seasons, 4 dragons.
Yeah.
Like depending on the season, like the world like shape changes kind
Okay.
of thing.
Yeah.
That's what I want to start Cloy with.
You
Like
could
that,
start-
that,
you
that
could
was the
s-
conception, but that's macro scale.
That's fine.
That's fine.
So now base all of your like civilizations / towns / cities / modes of transport on the mechanisms that like produce your world.
Or the season that affluence.
It's like, oh,
influenced
so the world constantly changes, so therefore seismic plates constantly move, so therefore societies have to build earthquake-proof buildings. Like that's
or flying.
yeah, or flying flying citadels or something. I don't know.
Yeah. How do you get these flying citadels? There's a magic arcanes or runes are inscribed on these buildings that they're floating around on these.
There's a metric
Tectonic.
fuck ton of updraft that just pushes
Yeah,
buildings
sure,
up.
why
Yeah, like that even.
They learn to harness the currents of the world, and therefore they can produce airships or something.
Like right now, I'm seeing a cloud world where like small little islands of worlds.
Cloud world's such bullshit.
I know it is.
No, I'm saying you can't stand on clouds.
I know, but I'm
Like
seeing
people like to think like, oh, we can build buildings,
Cloud
and
cities.
foundations.
That's not how it works.
You can have cities in the sky
yeah.
that
You
are
can't.
like have clouds passing through them. You can't build on clouds.
I know because they're just water vapors.
Yeah,
Yes.
I know.
that's why I'm getting angry.
I know.
But that's not what I meant though. What I meant
Oh.
is just a city in the clouds.
Oh,
It's
okay,
not built
Like
on
Cloud
clouds.
City.
It's
Okay,
Cloud
sorry.
City. It's
My bad.
it's surrounded by clouds.
Okay, my bad. I thought
Like-
you said built on.
No, I'm not. I
Like
didn't say
Lando
built up. I'm
system.
thinking of like small like islands of like land
Floating
and then
lands.
floating lands and
Which is-
buildings on top and
that's
then
fine.
like clouds
Clouds
surrounding it.
happen to be there.
Yeah. Visually, it looks like they're built on clouds,
No,
but they're not.
No, not even.
Yeah.
No,
They're just phasing through the cities,
no.
so it's
no,
like
I'm
misty all the
saying,
time.
like- no, never mind. I won't get into it. But
Go into a tangent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You can start off macro scale, and,
Yeah.
but the main point is like go as fine as you can with the details. Doesn't matter whether or not they conflict, and you can have somebody else proofread what you're doing and be
That's
like,
another-
oh hey, there's plot holes here. This is what you should do.
That's
to fix
another.
it."
That's another thing I gotta do more.
What?
Fucking proofreading.
You're not going to be able to proofread your own things.
I know,
because
that's what
you
I'm
have
saying.
Biases.
I know
And
that's
you've already you already understand what your vision is. You need somebody else who doesn't understand your vision to proofread.
okay. Yeah, that's what I'm
So,
saying. Like I need to ask somebody to proofread.
Yeah, and then once they poke holes in your thing, then you can start remaking it. But the whole point of the
World building.
of world building is to get as much stuff out there so that you have stuff to work on. Because if you're just stuck, you're not working on anything. You're just
Yeah. Yeah. That
That's what I
happens.
told
That
EJ.
happens to me a lot.
It's like who cares whether or not it sounds good or bad or
Just write it
looks
down.
bad. Just get it out of your head. So
Just
that
make
we
an
have-
archive of ideas, right?
so that we can have something to work with
Yeah. And
and
then
mold it into something.
Yeah. All right. That's probably what I'm gonna do for the following.
I'm
months.
excited to do your D&D stuff. I personally don't want to go into the whole world building aspect because I don't have a creative drive to want to do that. I don't
Yeah.
particularly
What?
like imagine because I find my own reality to be entertaining enough.
Oh. But look at the Mr. Scoliosis. of-
Yeah, but that's still
Scoliosis
that's
of
still-
Notre Dame.
I'm still juggling ideas of my own reality.
It's true.
Into it.
Like I don't want to necessarily have to build something from the ground up and be like, okay, this is what the world is going to look like and who are the beings who are going to inhabit it. I'd much rather just like
interact with that individual's world.
No, hone in and focus in on like a particular character. I don't want to flush out the rest of the details.
You don't want You want to start micro, then work macro kind of thing.
No.
Go small, build up.
He's more of a sense that he would just rather focus on his character
The world.
than building a world.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
he finds that just his character or himself is sufficient enough to entertain him.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
probably gonna-
that's the farthest my creative drive is going to push me. I don't feel an urge, like I said, an urge to want to build and inhabit an entire world with unique beings.
Not gonna lie, I'm probably gonna steal the Cloud City idea.
That's fine.
That's fine.
Stealing is good. In the aspect of ideas, yeah, why not? You used to have you and your brother hated the idea of like ripping people off's
Theft.
ideas.
You got to be
Yeah,
original in your
and
own way.
intellectual property. But dude, I don't care. I don't give a damn. A
Disney
good
does
idea
that
is a
all the
good
time.
idea. A good idea is a good idea, no matter who it comes from.
It's true.
Which the God, that Katy Perry lawsuit rubbed me the wrong way when I heard about that.
Katy Perry sued somebody for
No,
stealing rights?
somebody sued
Dark
Katy
Horse
Perry.
because of chords.
Yeah.
There you go.
A specific melody,
Yeah,
Okay.
which is
Don't
really stupid.
artists do that all the time?
kinda.
Yeah.
But there is some merit, and other times there's no merit. But
Mm.
anyway, yeah, I don't particularly have a creative drive to want to.
Dude,
Creative fantasy
Make a
fantasy-esque
Or like
spice
draw.
up.
I don't particularly have a creative drive to draw. People like drawing and love to draw, right?
I used to be one of those people.
I don't have a drive to want to.
I want
what
to
I
find.
see into drawing. Like I just don't.
I want to find.
Like
drive to draw.
I can find it fun. It's definitely fun to do with other people.
Yeah.
I find it fun maybe sometimes on my own, but like I don't particularly want to go by myself
It
with
ain't
a
your-
canvas and draw.
It ain't your passion.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
I have a perpetual need to ask questions. That's what drives me creatively, for sure.
Yeet.
Right? But other than that,
It's true.
I got nothing else.
Fair enough.
So, speaking of creative drive and creativity in language, what's the next topic, Edric?
Oh yeah, we're gonna practice what it means to have cadence and presenting. So we're going to read out loud Dr. Seuss books
I'm gonna
and passages from
I'm
Dr.
gonna
Seuss.
I'm gonna fill my quota of
And I'm going to give each of you a passage to read.
Damn it.
So you can rehearse the passage as many times as you'd like.
Yeah.
And then I'm also going to give you a new passage
Damn
that
it.
you've never read before.
oh,
And then we'll do that on stream. So you'll have one passage you'll have a passage that you could choose to rehearse as much as you like, and then you'll have another passage in where
wait,
you are going to have to do on the spot reading.
I got a question. Do I have to present the first passage during the podcast?
Yes.
So we have to do both passages.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. The first one is the one that
We
we
practice.
practice. It's been promptly
And
given.
the second passage we're going to do, we're all going to read the same passage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, should we do that?
I think
it's up to you.
we should do that.
No, because
What?
then there's
Up
an
to you,
inherent bias of taking
Oh.
somebody's particular way of cadence
Yes.
of how they presented it. Oh, I like that. You should do that.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna do another
Different.
three passages, and
Jesus.
we'll pick them from my hat.
All right. Okay.
Random.
Yeah.
Roll dice. 1, 2,
And a
3,
passage
4,
is
5,
going to be
6.
like maybe 8 lines.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be.
How long?
Like 8 lines.
8 lines.
Dr. Seuss books aren't very long, dude.
I can't.
One line is 1 page.
So
No,
maybe
some of them are like 4 lines.
Is it 4 lines in some
Like-
page?
green eggs and ham
No, Green Eggs and Ham is in total like 150 some words.
Yeah.
That's a lot of words, man.
No. He got challenged specifically. It's like, I want you to do an entire book with only 150 some words.
Oh,
And he was like, okay.
and he
Did
did
it.
it. Dr. Seuss was a genius.
Yeah,
Green eggs and ham.
it's really good.
Do you like green eggs and ham?
No, I don't actually. Actually, I don't know what a green egg looks. I can picture a green egg. I'd be.
Century egg. It's a green egg.
he is right in a sense. It's fermented egg.
Look up a century egg.
You never heard of century egg?
I haven't actually. That's why I was confused. Century.
No.
No, century.
Like in
Like a
100.
Centennial.
Century egg. So like a really gross egg.
That's a green egg.
Yeah, that's a green egg.
Huh.
1,000-year-old egg.
It's
Millennial
not
egg.
1,000.
100.
100-year.
Wow, it's not
Disgusting.
100 years. There you go.
It's been like jellified.
My stomach's feeling queasy. I don't
Why?
know why. Just looking at it.
It actually looks very aesthetically pleasing.
It is, but for some reason my stomach's like. Ugh.
I like the sheen. I like the color. It's
Yes.
like a rich, deep color. But like, I don't.
A rich,
I don't-
deep
You
color
wouldn't
of
want to eat it
jade.
because you're allergic.
I don't. Yeah, I don't associate a taste to that.
I do. Speaking of creativeness and all that,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna go back to Hollow Knight. I'm sorry. Another reason why I think I like it is because they take the narrative aspect of like Dark Soulsborne games.
Mm.
Of,
Soul-like games, yeah.
Let me show you, not really tell you.
Yeah, implicit storytelling.
Yeah. Do you think that could? How well do you think that could be translated into books?
Done all the time.
Okay.
There's one author that I want to check out his books,
is what's
Will
his other?
Self.
Will Self.
Yeah, he's a British author who wrote a trilogy,
I thought you were gonna say Will Smith.
and he talks about his stuff all diegetically.
Okay, cool.
So, like, you get no idea. Like, it's done by the view of a guy who's in the 1950s, so you don't understand any of the cultural references he's referencing. So I'm just like, damn, this is a way to get you more immersed.
Well, you weren't there in the 19th century.
That's exactly why. It's immersive.
So it's not 1-to-1. You don't know what it's like being.
No, he did
filling a quota.
I know, but he did very extensive research to make sure that all of the references that he's doing in the 1950s are correct.
Cool. That's like reading with more work. Like you gotta Google
Yeah.
all that stuff.
But it's rewarding.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Because you get a
Sensation.
you get a different perspective, one that isn't your own, one that isn't even within your own time period.
Like Foundation.
Sure.
Such a.
It makes me so angry.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like it doesn't make me angry, but it's like, wow. Now that I look back at it, it is kind of silly.
It is so silly, dude, to view stuff in the lens of your own technology. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
look at all these fruit pasties I spilled on the computer. This is what my computer is. It's just me pushing some fruit pasties.
It's great.
I think you should show him the video next time.
All right.
But yeah, I think this is a good time to
Cut
cut
it?
it off.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
next we'll be doing a lot of doctors. We'll be doing a lot of reading.
Actually, you may see us again. We're probably gonna play Overcooked too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll play
Later.
for an hour or two.
Yeah. 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 You good? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're done.
All right. Anyway, I hope everybody had a good holiday and all that, and a wonderful New Year. I'm obligated to say because society tells me to. And we'll see you guys next week.
It's actually been a full year.
Yep.
Of
Happy 2019, everyone. And even happier
2020.
2020.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.